It is 9 o'clock. It is the 19th day of 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. It is 30 mile per hour winds outside my house. Just take a listen. My internet is down. My power keeps going in and out. We're broadcasting here at the end of the world, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to keep talking until they take me off the air. Yeah. So I don't know if you're going to see this or not, but whatever. Today we're taking a look at Starfinder from Pazio. This is the child of Pathfinder and Spelljammer. It's a much more hard sci-fi take on the Spelljammer concept of magic space. It's sort of more Star Wars-y than Spelljammer. There's magic and there's weird races and there's psionics, but it has a much more spacey feel, much more science fiction feel as opposed to Spelljammer, which is just this kind of more like flying ships in space and a spaceship that looked like a snail and stuff like that. So this one I think kind of does it a little bit better. And just the idea of this sort of magic universe, and tries to keep it a little bit more hardcore, closer to the pocket sci-fi. So let's focus first on the things I like. Okay, so the very first thing, after you get through the, mandatory 10 pages of how the game works, is character theme. So before you even pick your race, your class, maybe even, I would do it before you even pick your stats, is what is your character's theme? Are you an ace pilot? Are you a bounty hunter? Are you an entertainer, mercenary? These are sort of the timeless characters of space themey stuff, wide-eyed kid, aged veteran, space pilot, diplomat. Again, a carryover from Star Wars, D6 West End games. Are just, it's a very interesting idea. I'd like to see this repeated in more games. They kind of do the same thing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but I'd like to see more attention paid to, like, before you pick your race, before you pick your class, maybe before you even roll your stats, sort of pick your theme. Trope-heavy role-playing is, there. It's important, and it's good to have those recognizable imagery in your mind while you're building your character. I want to be Han Solo. I want to be Aragorn. I want to be Wyatt Earp. I want to be Batman. Here are the tropes. And each trope gives you a few little bonuses and some background, but not enough, to really sort of pinhole your character into being, oh, you're this. So you could pick Ace Pilot and take the bonuses from Ace Pilot, but then still take other stuff. You could pick race and class. You could, things that, to broaden out that. So that's one of the many things I like. Then we have the races. We have all our space races. We've got androids and humans and some kind of slime people and some kind of bug people and some insect people and some, space elves, space dwarves, space orcs. Okay, whatever. Then we got our classes: Envoy, Mechanic, Mystic, Operative, Solarian, Soldier, and Technomancer. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes. None of them are really, familiar. They're just sort of the spacey takes, the Starfinder takes on the classic classes, and sort of just taking the idea of you're a fighter. And then now space and, aliens and technology. You're not just a fighter anymore. You're a thing. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff I like about this. And say what you will about Pathfinder and Pathfinder 2 being super chunky. The few games I played in Starfinder, I found it very easy to make a character. It didn't feel chunky at all. I felt like it took everything from Pathfinder 1st Edition and sort of streamlined it, made it easier. Maybe I was just more familiar with it, But the characters, I made 2 characters. We played for about 3 months. And every character I made just felt very easy to make, very seamless, very just stuff. Now, again, we could be cut off any minute because of the wind. I still have no internet, so let's keep going. Here's the other thing I like about Starfinder is the background. So spoilers, if you're a fan of Pathfinder 2 and you're currently playing it. Okay, so the premise of Starfinder is the Pathfinder homeworld, Glorian, has been destroyed. They don't know how because the records of the destruction has been lost to time. Starfinder starts like 50, 100 years after the destruction of Glorian. The races of Glorians, a few managed to escape the apocalypse, have gone out into space. One space city somehow magically survived and became a space station, and now they're encountering alien races. And, now you're like, oh, I'm a wizard, and suddenly I'm encountering aliens, and wow, everything I know is completely wrong. The home world of Pathfinder, Glorian, at some point in time, is going to be destroyed. Endgame. Could be this year, could be next year. They could be building up to it in some module right now. We don't know. But Pazio has decided that at least in one part of the Pazio multiverse, the Pathfinder world is gone. Obliterated. Nobody knows how. But let's face it. Was probably player characters. Somebody did something or is going to do something in a future adventure. It's inevitable, or they'll make a wish, or they'll summon Orcus, or they'll put the wrong lever in the wrong thing, or somebody will just do something stupid and piss off a god and get Glorian, the Pathfinder homeworld, destroyed. So that is a great beginning for the game. That is knowing as a Pathfinder fan, as somebody who's played Pathfinder, that the world you invested so many years into and you love and the stories is gone. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to be blown up. It's like waking up one morning and finding out you're on the moon and Earth has been destroyed and nobody knows how, though chances are it was probably my fault. So I love that. I love that. I love the fact that nobody knows why. Everybody has their own story about how the apocalypse happened, but nobody knows for sure. Just there's, this 10 years of static, no records, and then now part of the adventure is sort of that, Titan AE, where the people from Glorian who are out in space now are the strangers. They're the aliens. They've come into this very advanced, very established space, science fiction universe. It's got a very Titan AE experience. And they're like, oh, well, great. You can cast Fireball. Big deal. I've got a spaceship that can destroy planets. Your Fireball means nothing to me, 4th level wizard. Suck it. And the 4th level wizard from Glorian is like, my +1 sword is pointless against your lightsaber and your Darth Vader armor. So yeah, those are lots of good ideas. The races, the classes, the themes, the templates, the fact that they've split up, they have, instead of just hit points, they now have like hit points and stamina, so things feel more, really good. This, of course, then we get to the clunky bits, the feats. The feats, dear God in heaven, the feats. At least... But there's not a lot of feats. There's only like 7 pages of feats, so that's not so bad. And every section is also really well defined, like its own little book. Like tactical rules is its own little book. It's like page 8, section 8, page, So, yeah, this book is really put together well. And at 500 pages, I'm going to say, 500 pages. Look at this. It is really well put together. I love pocketbooks. More companies should do books like this. Take up less space. They're really well put together. Okay, yeah, maybe a little too much wasted space on art, but I think we just know that's me, and nobody else really complains about the wasted space on art like I do. And it's not that I have anything against art. I love the Starfinder, Pathfinder art. It's just the way my brain works. It's very compartmentalized. I don't want to see space wasted that could be information, But whatever. I'm an idiot, so that's just me. So yeah, that's everything that's great about this game. Everything that's bad about it is the same things we complain about at Pathfinder and Pathfinder 2. It's too clunky. It's too easy to just become bogged down in combat unless you have the right group who really want to focus more on the role-playing game. Once you find the min-maxy possibilities and the loop, much like in Pathfinder and Pathfinder 2, it's going to be the same things. It's like you can definitely do those types of characters where you're just like, I do this, then the next round I do this, and then the third round I do this, and then, you just have your cycle. and stuff like that. It can have the same Pathfinder math that, Pathfinder 1 and Pathfinder 2 does, where you're like, okay, this round I'm plus 16, but only if I'm wielding my kukri, or I can wield my trident, which I'm plus 14, but I do extra damage. Oh, wait, but I'm berserking, so now I got to look at this other page on my spreadsheet for my character. That's all still there. It's a little streamlined. It's a little easier. If I wanted to do fantasy space, this would probably be the first one I'd look at. I know there's some other fantasy space games. I think there's a 5e fantasy space game that isn't official. I'm still hoping Wizards will do a 5e version of Spelljammer and really give it the love and attention it deserves, especially since Deborah Ann Wool is apparently secretly championing it. So yeah, I have a lot of good to say about this game. I love the fact that it starts with the tropes, with the themes. Pick your trope before anything else. This is science fiction. Science fiction has established tropes. This is fantasy. Fantasy has established tropes. Or you could just be themeless and not pick a trope. And there's advantages and disadvantages for just being that too. I like that. I like that the classes are different. I like the idea of stamina. Though I do remember that I did have some trouble understanding how this spread out and was never really fully explained how the stamina and the stats worked and the hit points and the death points and stuff like that. So there's still some issues. It's still clunky at the end of the day. It's still Pathfinder. It's still Pathfinder 2. But spoilers! As much as you love Glorian, as much as you love your Pathfinder character, as much time and energy you have in buying and collecting all the Pathfinder stuff, it doesn't matter. Because Starfinder tells us that all that is going to be destroyed. Pazio is planning at some point in time to blow up Glorian. Sometime in the next, I don't know when, but the timeline for Pathfinder 2 is at some point in time, there's going to be an adventure where they blow the fuck up out of Glorian, out of the Pathfinder world. And for that alone, I fucking love this game. So this was $20, not bad. 500 pages of gaming, great, lots of good ideas, lots of good stuff worth stealing, an interesting space universe, feels very much Titan AE, feels very much more grounded than Spelljammer does. The spaceships, the aliens, the tech all feel like this feels more Star Wars, more Babylon 5, more, where I'm an ancient alien race and my magic is just technology you don't understand kind of thing. So, yeah, $20, I can't say no. I'd give this, out of a 1 through 20, I'd give it a 12, 15. The only problem with it is it's clunky. It's Pathfinder. It's what we're used to from that system. If you like clunky, crunchy, lots of rules, lots of feats, lots of options style gaming, you're going to love this game because it takes everything from Pathfinder and sort of simplifies it before it then went on to become Pathfinder 2, which then becomes apparently much more way complicated. Highly recommend it. Very little bad to say about it other than what I've already said. So there you go. That is our review of Starfinder from Pazio. If you have a chance and that's something you're interested in, pick it up. It's only $20. That makes it worth it. We'll see if I can post this. Stay safe. It is very windy out there. Do not light any fires. 30-mile-per-hour winds here. So until next time, sub to my vlog if you haven't yet. We're very close to the 300 goal, and that means we're only 200 away from the 500 goal. 500 subs by August 4th, and I will do something crazy. Talk to you later.